good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
How are you guys?
Yeah, good,
I'm
good.
good, man. Not Ahmed. Emin's wearing a very losing jersey at the moment.
Look, mate, I'm not plastic. Real supporter here. We will get to that.
We'll get to that.
And I'm
Unfortunate,
look,
sad story.
I'm excited this week. I feel like we have a lot to talk about. I sort of want to get through the juicy stuff or the big stuff of the week before we can just go into. Because I feel like a lot has happened this
straight
week.
into it. U.S. elections. What do you guys think?
I didn't know there was an election on. No, I'm just kidding, man.
Would you live in a rock?
To be honest, you couldn't avoid it if you tried.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I know.
It's on every media channel, every social media channel. My opinion, I don't have a horse in the race. I couldn't. To be honest, we're just here before the end. To be honest, it's more of an entertainment avenue rather than an election at the moment.
I agree.
Look, for the people around me, it's a way of making money. I can't believe how many people are betting on this.
Man, if there's a market, people are betting.
Yeah,
If
it's just crazy.
If there's, where was it? Who's the royal dumbasses?
The royal
Kate
family.
Middleton and whatever the other guy.
Prince.
Anyway, is it Prince? I don't even know anymore.
I don't
George. Is it George? No,
No,
William.
William.
There we go. Fuck
William.
off, that lost with that family. That lost with that family. What was the kid's name going to be?
I know they did the
Dude,
same
they
thing with
took
Kanye.
yes,
millions
yes,
on that.
yes.
So
I
can you
forgot
imagine
about
an
that.
election? Well, Sportsbet paid off Biden
Yeah.
because they said that's it, game over. And to be honest, looking at all the stats, I think as of just before we started, Georgia, I think it was. That's one of the deciding states because Nevada is too lazy to do their thing.
Dirty South. Shout out.
Dirty South. I think Georgia was like 665 votes between Trump and Biden. Trump was leading.
That's I don't know what that means.
So-
Like 600 votes. Like what is that out of the whole? What 200? How many million people?
No. So they per state.
So
They're doing the electoral.
okay,
So,
so yeah,
Georgia
yeah,
as a
yeah.
state,
Yeah.
the difference between Trump and Biden, I think, is like 600 and something
yeah,
votes.
and it's like 49.4 and 49.4, but there's like, bro, there's 2.5 million people almost who voted in Georgia.
So the way that it works is each state is worth a certain amount of electric. So
electoral votes.
electoral votes. Yeah.
Georgia's
I was
16.
catching on that.
That's
today.
right. Georgia's 16. So and with Biden, I think he's at 264 at the moment, off the top of my head.
And 270 is a win, right?
And 270
Because
is
the
win.
majority.
So he needs
Yeah.
just literally one state and he's got it. But I think where the stupidity came from is obviously from Donald Trump. He declared he's the winner of half these states that are still counting. And everyone's going, well, how do you self-declare a win when we haven't even been done because you got all those postal votes?
Look, I want to ask you something, Fatih. Obviously, you know a lot more than this about me.
I am the
So-
US correspondent here.
So before,
George.
before the election started, there were people talking about, oh, we just hope that this is a quick process. We hope that Trump doesn't, declare investigation on this, blah, blah. Is that something that's written in their constitution that they're allowed to do as a president or whatever to say that there's something going on here?
As in him challenging the vote?
Yes.
He's allowed to challenge it. I don't think it's in their constitution. I think it's more just on the basic platform of democracy rather than their constitution. I think he just has the right to do it rather than something that's actually in their constitution where he can federally challenge it or something like that. But as far as I know, one of the states, I can't remember, I think it was Pennsylvania or Michigan, one of them two, the court just threw out his request. Simple as that. You can't
It was
look.
Pittsburgh,
You know what it
wasn't
is? It's so stupid what he's doing. How can I put this in the most like? You know, if any of you guys watch The Office, it's like when he says, "Explain it to me like I'm 3," or it's literally like that. What he's asked for is to stop counting the votes that people put
Yeah,
the
after
envelopes.
6:30.
Yeah, these postal votes were done before.
But it's
Doesn't
so
matter.
salty. It's
Yeah.
just salty.
It's like complaining to FIFA. A team scored a goal in extra
That's
time.
it. Stop the time.
Yeah, can you just... The goal was scored, but we need you to overrule that. Like,
Yeah.
it makes absolute no sense what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? If you lost, you lost. It's simple as that. But I think where people are actually starting to get worried about is if he genuinely does turn this into a shit fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Matt, like, I can only know so much about this because I don't think I've ever seen it in my lifetime if it's ever happened. What about if he just, it just doesn't leave?
Dude, I watched no, it's
I'm
not that.
staying here.
If everything stops and this goes to Supreme Court or whatever, blah, blah. I actually watched a video on But I don't think America themselves know what's going to happen. Like, because the presidential thingy ends on the 1st of January or whatever it is, the term officially ends.
They do change, I think, January 20th or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So if no one is elected, there's talks about the Speaker of the House of Representatives or something is going to be ruling America until this is all sorted and shit like that.
I think it does become someone that's more neutral, but I think this, I could be wrong, someone probably searched this up. Nancy Pelosi is, I think, the Speaker. I think
that's her, yes.
And she fucking hates Trump. Like, you could see how many, there's moments where he gives a speech in I think it was the Senate or the House of Reps. The moment he finishes, she rips her speech up and walks off. She's in the background, she does that. She if there's someone that probably hates more Trump than anyone else, it's probably her.
Yeah, it is Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, she absolutely hates him. But look, I don't know. I don't know what happens if he challenges it and prolongs it. But it's gonna come to a point where people are starting to speak about like civil war and stuff, because it's that close. Think about it. It's not like the country's united against Trump. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, you know what? We've had enough of you. Time to go. It's nothing like that. It's more. There's last time I checked, there was like 4 million national votes separating two guys that no one wants. That's the irony.
That's I know. So
that's something that I was going to ask you guys. I feel like America's voting for the less of the two evils because they're both scumbags, in my opinion.
Well, you have one that's potentially, again, I don't think it's proven, but it just looks like it. The one that's got like dementia, and I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about Biden. He generally looks like he is struggling with certain things. Like when he was giving his speech, what was it? Our time yesterday. I feel like he was just going to come up on stage and be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Dead set. I have no idea. You got times where he can't speak properly. You got times where that video that went around that, you know what's funny? The irony is you don't see it on our media that often because our media tend to support more left democratic and type of views. When he introduced his granddaughters as his dead son. I don't know if you guys saw it. His original wife, if that makes sense, and his son, his
late wife,
late wife. That's the word
I'll call her original. She died.
They died in a car crash.
Oh no way.
The full stats I have no idea about. Now he introduced his granddaughters as that son.
Oh, no way.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not something that you come like that. And then you got one way on video where he's doing his old rally and he just rushes through a few words and everyone's made memes now. They put Bruce Almighty and they put liar, shut up! But it's just like, you got that type. How can I say this without sounding like a fuckwit? You got that man in charge of the nuclear codes on Earth, like to wipe out the Earth.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? This is the man. And then you got another one who's an egotistic maniac.
Yep.
Like who do you go for? Do you know what I mean?
Dude, there's sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just to add to that, dude, I've been obviously on social media seeing all these people think the thing. I follow like ASX Small Chat, which is like stuff about the stock market, and the conversation's gone even into those small groups, right?
100%.
They were talking about it, and a couple of guys raised the point that Biden had like pedophilic interactions with kids, right?
Yeah.
Dude, and then I saw the video. Honestly, it made me sick. Like, it almost makes you... There's no question to be asked with how he's behaving.
I've seen that video.
It's disgusting.
It's not appropriate.
Yeah.
Like, taking photos, you can see he's trying to grab the stomach. You know, like from shoulder, he'll go down. You know what I mean?
Rubbing up there. You can see his
yeah.
thumb rubs.
Stop harassing our podcasters.
But yeah, it is disturbing. I don't know, man. Like, let me ask you guys a question. I'm not 100% in terms of the facts, but since Trump 4 years ago became president, there was interesting information that I read. And it was about how, he didn't start any wars. He did bomb certain individuals, you know, that guy in Iran, and I think a few other people, if I'm not mistaken. But in that sense, apparently there was all these acts and these certain what do they call them when they write laws in America? It's a different name.
Bills.
That's correct. Yeah, there's certain bills that actually helped out the country. Like, if in essence, if you look back at what he actually, like, if you go through what he actually did and what he actually signed off on, he was actually a decent president. If we want to look at it, like let's look besides the bias towards Trump. I mean, we all know he's a character. All right, you know, we can give him that much. But the fact is, man, he did a decent job. I mean, let's consider Barack Obama. The guy got us into, was it him that he got us into some, no, us, but he got the American army into somewhere. Was it
Syria?
Syria, that's correct. You know what I mean? Lots of innocent people lives. Not only did, you know, the innocent people, but I mean, of course, their own people, you know, died. But the point I'm trying to get at, like, I think, if anything, out of the last 4 or 5 presidents before Trump, this guy's been not that bad. I mean, he's very controversial. I think he speaks his mind, which is not that bad, because at least you know he's not bullshitting.
It depends what you define as being bad. I mean,
yeah, that also I agree.
Look, I don't know much about Trump too. Obviously, I live in Australia. I can say that I'm an apolitical person. I don't give a crap about politics in so many regards. And just as I said before, I feel like it's choosing between the lesser of two evils sometimes. But I feel like Trump, taking all the stupid stuff he's said and done out, he's pretty much run America like a business, right? And that's what he's known for anyway, right? And quote me if I'm wrong, Fatih.
You're wrong.
Damn you. I haven't said anything yet. I think America has seen the most economic flourishing in the term that Trump has been around. Am I wrong?
Like, has he been that bad?
See, this is where the problem is. What the Republicans define as good and what the Democrats define as good. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what the Republicans can say, okay, this what we see him to do as good, and the Democrats go, well, no, that's actually shit. But you can't decide between the two. It's because you're both making up your own views.
But what about statistically? Let's talk about like share market growth or profits and debts of the country. Have these all been lowered? Do you know?
As far as I know, the debt's actually risen.
Okay.
But I don't think that's gone. In my personal opinion, okay, regarding the American debt, there is no president on earth, okay, I reckon between now and unless something major dramatic happens and they just say, you know what, we're not paying back the debt, that debt's not going anywhere.
Dude, it's massive.
It's last time I checked, and you can actually search this, just write US debt. I think it was
like trillion. 2 trillion.
No, I think it was $27 trillion. I think it was. It's a very, very
27 trillion.
Oh fuck! On the dot. There you go. And I checked probably like last year or something like that.
Trillion.
I was bored. $1 trillion.
Who do they owe this money to?
Countries and banks. Where do they get the money from? The thing about this debt is they're not paying the debt. They're just paying the interest. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. But they're that powerful. It could come to a point where it's like, I owe you money. Well, I'm not paying it. Come and get it.
Yeah, exactly. What is the bank going to do? All right, that's it, guys. Get the army in. We're going in.
The bank doesn't give a shit. The bank owns pretty much America at the moment to begin with. If you owe someone money, technically you own them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. The way that the middle class economy and the lower class economy works, if that's what it is.
Goldman Sachs.
Pretty much. And Goldman Sachs got fucked. But what I'm trying to get at is, I think it was just before coronavirus, or that year just before coronavirus, the American stock market had one of the biggest jumps ever in history since they started taking down either the Dow or the Nasdaq, one of them two. And this is under Trump's reign. Okay, whether that was applicable to what Trump did or whether that was like a boom within an economy itself, like with Trump not doing anything or something like that, it's hard to say, because you'll have people that say that it wasn't him, and you'll have people that say that was him. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whether it happened under his reign, it did. Yeah. It did happen. But it all determines on what you see as bad, and this is what I was trying to say at the original thing. So Trump is more, I want to open up the country. We need the economy to flourish, like you just said. He's a businessman. I mean, Biden is more, we need to worry about the people's safety, so we should more.
Is this in terms
I think
of
it's
coronavirus?
This is the coronavirus thing. Yeah. So you got to think like this. So which one do you see as good? Now everyone has their own view on this. Do you know what I mean? You have people that say, well, get fucked, I want to do whatever I want. And then some people are like, well, I care about my safety, therefore we should be doing this and this. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? You've seen, I'm pretty sure we've all seen half the videos on TikTok about people losing their minds about masks in America. Mm-hmm. That's another thing. One person will see that as, well, she's fighting for our freedom, while someone will say she doesn't give a shit about people's health.
Yeah.
See what I mean? How there's two goods and two bads.
There's always.
Yeah,
That, and
yeah.
that's why I don't get involved with
It just-
politics
it
so
just
much, is
suits-
because it's so much hearsay and, like, which side are you on sort of thing. But when I talk to people about this, I think worldwide, the biggest concern with Trump is relations with China and how much he's severed that, especially in the last 6 months to a year, with all the tariffs and taxes he's put on, importing and stuff like that. Dude, it's affected us so much that one of the guys I was talking today, China has, we're such a mineral-rich country. China has stopped buying minerals
I
from
know.
us.
Yeah, today they stopped something.
No, not minerals. They
stuck-
stopped buying lobster, certain fish. I think it was a certain
They don't buy wool.
Yeah.
Wool, they take a massive amount of our wool.
Like they stopped something today. I can't remember what it was. It was either a grain or
it was
or an
something like
actual-
that.
It's either it was zinc or something. I can't remember what it was. But we can't blame Trump on that. Look at Scott Morrison.
Can I mention something just on top of Trump? Just this is a positive note. Is the fact that which other leader was talking to North Korea?
Dennis Rodman.
He was an advisor for you.
Yeah, that guy, one of the best basketball players, or for his position, I don't even know. I don't know fuck all about basketball, by the way. He went and met with Kim Jong Un.
Cause he breached. Like everyone was like, "Oh, no, we don't know what's going on in North Korea." Cause there you see Trump go, oh, "I got this. This is mine. All right, guys, how you going?" He did his handshake. They talked. They actually had a fucking meeting. Like, think about it.
That's
Which
true.
other leader was doing that? China wasn't even doing that. China was like, "Dude, we don't even know this guy."
Stay
like,
over there.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, hate him or love him, bro. He's done a decent job.
And this is what I'm trying to get at, as decent job depending on what
Who,
view
yeah.
you sit on. Because I can sit here and say so many things that Emmy can find good about him, and then
Of
you'll
course.
find bad about him.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, with all due respect, him as an individual, he's a very he's a scumbag.
Isn't it? He's got a massive ego problem too.
You know what I mean? But maybe it's his party, maybe it's his advisors that are helping him and steering him in the direction that he was going to. Of course.
I'll have to disagree with you there, because
Yeah.
he fired almost everyone. He thought
But
he
nah.
literally thought it was his own show, The Apprentice. When you're tired, you're tired. That's literally what it was. But look, what I will definitely criticize Donald Trump about is the way he talks. He talks like the way I'm saying everything, everyone needs to accept this. So, but he's a complete, utter fuckwit about it. I have to give him that.
But in his defense, he's the leader of the free world. You know what? If I was in that position too, I probably would be a little worse. You know what I mean? Like, you can't sit there and go as if, it wouldn't get to you a bit and go, you know what, fuck. I've got power that few people in the world have. I'm gonna use it properly. I'm gonna do it my way. You know what I mean?
It's nature versus nurture too, bro. The guy was hosting his own freaking show for that long. They put him on a pedestal. The guy was like a king.
Yeah, of course.
Like that ego's been built up over many years.
Of course.
And he prides himself on how many times you hear those very corny and thing lines about success is about how many times you fall and get up. How many times this guy has gone bankrupt and got him back up and built that empire around himself and stuff like that, bro. That all comes with a price, and it's an ego that builds around it for such a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but going bankrupt so many times can also say, man, you know how to get to the top. You also know how to fuck it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
and once again, that's how you look at it. You
That's
could look
right.
at it being like, bro, you got bankrupt 3 times and you still got up. Like, a lot of people would just shut the gates there and be like, no, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah,
So
true.
once again, it comes down to
that,
your
how you view it.
interpretation.
Because
Exactly.
then if someone comes around and says, well, why'd you go bankrupt 3 times?
Yeah.
He's a proper entrepreneur. But it's just instilled in him. Like, I think, obviously, I don't agree with everything it does. I mean, bro, there's only so much America does to us in Australia. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're an ally to Australian government. That has no real effect for me. Let's think about it. I'm a simple person. I have a family. I mean, obviously, unless America comes in and starts invading Australia, that's a different story. But
Dude, you honestly don't understand how much an impact America does have. Dude, because I follow the share market, right? Just
Oh, of
talking
course.
from a shares point of view.
yeah, that,
Bro, if someone farts in America, you're like, what impact is it
Yeah.
going to have over here,
yeah,
honestly?
like Biden winning, apparently they're expecting a big drop.
Well, because look at his view. His view, like I said,
Yeah.
he's more concerned with safety.
Exactly.
So what happens is the economy takes a
He's
dip.
like, all right, economy guys, fuck off.
economy.
All right.
Put it to the
Say,
side.
let's save
I
that.
I can't do his impersonation because I feel bad because I genuinely think he has dementia. But look, I don't know, man. In my opinion, this is actually not my opinion. I think the stats are all going towards Biden. I don't think I think by tomorrow morning Australian time, we should see Biden winning and Trump probably coming out on Twitter saying something, and then Kanye 2024. So, you know what you can say? How bad can it get?
But
Like,
cause remember when Donald was versing Hillary?
yeah.
Because everyone thought Hillary was, that's it. She's got this, you know. Because it was the night before when they were still counting. I think it was the same problem. They were still counting votes.
Trump got it quick.
Did he?
Trump got opening, not opening day, but
Or was that the polls? I might be confused with
Right,
The
polls.
polls.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
polls all said Hillary by landslide, and everyone went,
Yeah, okay.
It's
my
the
mistake.
popularity. It's only happened a few times, I think, in American history where the popularity winner didn't win the actual
Sorry, yeah, my
senator
mistake.
seats. Is it what,
Yeah,
is it,
I
what it's
think-
called?
What Eamon said.
no, the actual electoral votes.
The
Yeah.
electoral vote. The electoral votes are the ones that win them, but Hillary was in front by how many million votes overall?
She won the actual vote, if that makes sense. So she won where the people actually vote for you.
Yep.
She won that, I think, by like 4 million or 5 million votes. But Trump won all the electrical states.
That's right.
Electoral states. Fucking hell.
What,
The electrical states.
what's your view on this system?
On what system?
The electoral blah blah and stuff like that.
To be honest, look, I will give the benefit of the doubt to my knowledge here and say I don't know enough about why California's worth 55.
Bro, it's
why,
got to
et
do
cetera,
with
et
how
cetera.
many seats you have in the Senate or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm trying to refer to is the actual electoral votes because I don't know why they're worth that much. That I have no idea, and I think that would take a bit of
That's
reading
what I was saying.
into.
I watched a video on it, and it's something to do with how many people are in the Senate, right? So the Senate is represented by that many people from California. That's how many senator seats that they have.
Okay.
Yep. So, I don't know. I just don't see how, if you're going for a fully democratic system, and once again, this is interpretation, where we go, democracy is, power to the majority or whatever. And if for example, Hillary Clinton has 4 million more votes, which is a fucking shitload of votes when you think about it. It's a fifth of Australia's population, whatever, sixth. But then you lose on senators because you've targeted states that have more senators or
more
have more
population.
influence in the thing. So I don't know.
So it's just confusing.
It's in fairness.
Look, to be fair, it's confusing to us because you're used to such a system as ours. Does that make sense?
I disagree.
Why?
It's actually disputed because every 4 years they decide in America whether this system is right or not. Every 4 years. So before the election or whatever, I watched the video on it once again. So every 4 years they decide, should we go through this whole senator blah, 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 or should we get rid of it? And the reason why it's so hard to get rid of is because it's written in the Constitution. Okay. And we know how hard... Dude, I was listening to like people talk during the week and they're like, our predecessors did this and our... What do they call it? The people who originally...
Forefathers.
The founding fathers.
The founding fathers. Dude, it almost sounds like a cult in America. Like... Dude, the Constitution, it's written. I guess this is something that we all, hear in being Turkish as well, is that so and so is changing and blah blah. It's just like, dude, some things need to be updated. Like, for example, I don't know about America, but I'm giving an example. If some country's constitution was written 200 years ago, right? Certain things have changed that needs, certain parts, in my opinion, of that constitution updated. For example, if we didn't have laws on phones, right? Just the very thing.
Yeah.
And phones came out now, then what the fuck happens? Oh, it wasn't written in the original thing, so we're not going to have any laws against phones.
No, the Constitution is different to laws. Does that make sense? The Constitution is more a fine print of how
it's a foundation.
It's the foundation of pretty much how to exist in this country. It's not more along the lines of... It's literally the image of your country rather than the actual bylaws itself.
I get that. I understand. But we're talking about gun laws, and this has been something that's been talked about for 20 years in America and blah, blah. And it's like, no, in the Constitution it says this, so we can't change anything.
You know what?
No, because people are against it.
I understand that too.
And to be fair, I favor the law in the Constitution, if that makes sense. But I understand why they want to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like, I get the whole. Do you guys know the reason why that law's in there?
Yeah, because they're allowed to protect their own selves if it goes into
If the
like
A
government-
tyrannical
war,
government.
yeah.
That's right. And look at the way it's going.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah,
Do you know
good
what I
on
mean?
him.
Like, you're literally there.
We should do the same.
If Trump just comes out and says, you know, I am the president,
He is doing
and
that.
comes out with the National Guard and says, mate,
No, not
do
National
what you
Guard,
need to
but
do,
his
have to protect me.
voters. I don't think we brought this up, but his actual supporters. He was like, guys, it's not. This is I think, an unfair counting in
Yeah.
one of the I can't remember which state it was, but he was like, guys, go out to the place where they're counting the votes and protest. So what ended up happening was, you mentioned before, civil war. Both
Yeah.
parties came and they started arguing. So then they had to close down the voting stations. So they were like, we don't know what's going on. Actual armed individuals came out with guns. Like, think about it.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to come down to that. So if it does come down to, you know what, 50, 60 million people that voted Trump and start to go, you know what, I got to defend my country because it's fraudulent what's happened. And then you got the
Yeah.
other 60, 70 million coming out and say, well, no, it was legit.
Yeah.
What happens?
And how likely is this happening? I mean, one of the videos that I watched doing my research this week was an Al Jazeera video, right? And she was talking about how
Hey, that's-
if this gets held up and there's no one selected until January or whatever, what's going to happen? And dude, America hasn't had a nice year. I mean, you've had protests against the lockdown. You've had the whole Black Lives Matter stuff. There's a lot of tension already built up in America, not to mention the economic falling and people being jobless and blah. Dude, the chances of anarchy from an outsider's perspective seems very, very high.
Yeah.
No, I
Definitely
agree
agree.
with you. But you know what? The only thing I find very hypocritical is the UN. This is what I find because
bro.
the reason why I bring
We're
this up,
going
I don't
down-
want to go down.
We're going down.
I don't want to go down this alley, but
No. You started it. It's happening.
the reason why I find it so hypocritical of the UN is the moment something like this happens in another country, it's step in time. America
Yeah.
steps in.
Yeah.
Someone else
Yeah.
steps in. Russia
Venezuela,
steps in.
Iraq,
Venezuela,
Syria,
Iraq, Libya.
Libya.
Even when it comes down to Turkey. even
So
when
when
it
the
comes
fuck are we going to America?
But now America's you could say they're almost there, where it's coming to a point where it could
Instability.
It could be civil unrest. It genuinely could be. So does the UN step in now? Does Russia start to go? Well,
Yeah.
we need to start stepping in here.
Russia. Small talk, guys.
It's
here.
sort of
We're calling
Listen
on you.
to us.
the UN is sort of like a small American
Can't-
voting
not
system.
even, bro.
Nah, UN.
UN
no,
is just an organisation that will sit there go, look, we've made these little minority group go, there's a little group that supports the country that unifies the world.
Yeah. It's a bunch of old guys who couldn't get jobs.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the UN is like sort of like, hey, America has 100 senator seats, so we have more power there. It's like certain countries have more pull in the UN than others do.
Yeah, that's true.
100%.
Well,
Like,
wasn't
and,
it?
And that's what's bullshit, because if who's going to unite and say we need to go into America, bro, how shit would that make America look? Like UN had to step in because we couldn't fucking vote like human beings.
Who cares? Let them implode.
Well, they did it everywhere else.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But would America would go to war with UN so they don't look so stupid. Like,
No, the Democrats will probably side with the UN to get Trump out.
probably.
I reckon that's if it ever did. I don't think it ever will, but if it ever did fall to that point, that's the scenario you go to. Just a quick note. Speaking of Russia, I was reading an article today about Putin actually maybe stepping down as president.
No.
The rumor is he's got Parkinson's.
Really?
Yeah, there's
Wow.
apparently there's people within his family telling him to step down because they can actually see him start to affect him.
Oh.
Whether that's bullshit or not,
Is
I have no idea.
Parkinson's is the one that you
Michael
shake.
J.
Yeah,
Fox.
yeah.
That's the only way. That's. I don't mean that in a
Yeah,
bad
no.
way.
Wow.
That's the only way I remember.
And there's
it.
someone else too.
Like, I
know.
feel bad for him. He was such a good actor.
What's
He's
it
still an
called?
actor, but-
I don't believe anything that comes out of Russia because the rumors around coronavirus that Putin's, used the vaccination on his daughter and she's fine and blah, bro. I won't believe it till I see it.
Well, I don't think Putin's gonna come in front of you and say, "Hey, I'm in here."
Yeah, but like he used it on his daughter and stuff like that. It's just freaking ridiculous.
Nah, I don't think that's real, man.
But yeah, at the moment, that's the update. Unless something's happened in the media right now that I have no idea about, I think Biden's just on the way to victory, and Trump's on the way to lodge lawsuits via Twitter.
Yeah, let's see how this turns out. Look,
Hey, looks the political fight in America is absolute shit, along with New South Wales State of Origin.
Yeah, look, that's a good segue. I was actually trying to find a way, and you did it nicer.
Look, you guys know, before the game, my main answers were, fuck, I'm not even worried.
Yeah, I swear to God. In fact, like you mentioned, you weren't worried. It was like, oh, do I really need to watch it? I'll find out the final score on Facebook. You know what I mean? I'll see the New South Wales 13 plus, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, that's how confident I was. I was like, man, we've got a team of superstars.
Yeah.
On paper, but on paper, it was complete domination. But I want to take a step back before we talk about what actually happened in the game and your views on it, right? Is it me, or did this year just not feel like an Origin? I don't know if it's because it's been put to the end of the season, but I feel like there was no hype around it. Bro, I had to remind myself Wednesday afternoon that the Origin was on.
I swear to God, Tuesday, I said to my wife, I was like, babe, I can't believe it. Origin's on Wednesday. How exciting. And then during the day, I didn't even have that excitement.
Do you know what I think, watching on TV, how it felt? Now, I could be wrong here, so if one of you guys can search. This was the first Origin in Adelaide.
Yeah, why the fuck are you playing in Adelaide?
They're trying to promote the game.
Promote the game. So keep this in mind. You got Adelaide, which is still practicing social distancing as well. Plus, it's not one of the states that are following the teams.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So I reckon that played a massive factor, because every tackle and stuff, it was just like, yeah, like, do you know what I mean? It didn't have that atmosphere around it, like such as Victoria or Queensland or New South Wales would have.
And what was cringy was Channel 9 constantly reminding how good the atmosphere was. Oh, Adelaide Oval's great. Look how good the atmosphere is. It's like, bro, no one in the crowd knew what a 4/5 tackle kick was. Like, what's a conversion? Like, bro, I don't know if it was that. Like, I feel like, bro, if you're going to take the game, I don't know, like, you can look at it in two ways, right? The first game is the big hype game. Build it up. Put it in Queensland or New South Wales. Build it up. Chuck the second game that doesn't mean shit in another state. The third one's usually your decider if it goes to that. But put it in the state that it's going to be in. Or put it in mutual ground.
I think this was already, but you've got to keep in mind, this was planned how many years ago?
Yeah, this was actually.
And I don't think anyone
planned. Because they were doing it in Perth. Yeah, didn't they do it in Perth last year?
Last year or the year before, something like that?
I'm sure it was, yeah.
They didn't plan this. So obviously with the coronavirus bashing every business on earth, this was one of them. They were going to have this mid-year as well. Sorry, during the mid-season. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So maybe then it would have been different. You would have had a lot of players more informed. You would have had a lot of players actually making the travel. You would have had a better atmosphere, maybe a better build-up, because we would have been supporting our teams. The players are gone, from form to representing their states and stuff. So maybe it could be different. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for the atmosphere. But I'm always 100% against playing NRL on an oval field. I absolutely that it should never happen. And I go to this at what's it, ANZ? Yeah, at ANZ where actually no, they're a rectangle, but they're that far away.
Yeah.
What's Sydney Cricket Ground? There we go.
Yeah, another shit ground.
You can't hear nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can't see anything. By the time the players walk off for halftime, it's already time to go back.
So in your opinion, what do you think is the best stadium
on earth?
No. Let's not go that way.
Like best NRL stadium to play?
Stadium at the moment.
Para.
Look, again, let's take out Bankwest, because it was specifically built for this and as a rectangular stadium.
Yeah.
And look how close we are to the stadium.
I love it.
I'll probably put Suncorp.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Suncorp. Even, what's his name is a mad stadium.
What kind of New South
Amy
Wales
Park.
supporter are you?
Amy Park is amazing.
Yeah.
I watched.
Is that Melbourne?
Yeah, Melbourne State. I watched the game for Parramatta Eels there. It's literally, no matter where I'm sitting, I'm that close to the game.
Yeah, I agree.
What about in terms of old school fields? Because if
Leichhardt
I'm not
Oval.
wrong, where? Leichhardt, yeah.
Belmore.
You've got Belmore. You've got even Penrith. They've still got a hill there that you can sit on at Penrith.
Manly,
yeah.
St George. Like, when I'm talking about, like, what you said about the old school stadiums, it's the ones that it brings that old heritage hit to it.
Yeah.
And I don't care which team you are. Again, there are teams that I hate, but to see that makes me happy. Why? Because it brings out people to a game, and that supporting feel kicks in. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can take another sport where they absolutely destroyed the supporting scenario, which is the A-League with the Wanderers. They absolutely destroyed. Look what it was, and look what happened.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And then the Wanderers destroyed themselves, but that's a different story. But
yeah, like coming back to that stadium thing, my dad used to have ties to someone who had corporate boxes in Belmore Oval, right? And I went and watched Bulldogs versus someone else, two teams that I didn't support, right? But what was beautiful was watching the people who live near Belmore Oval, and NRL probably doesn't like this, bro. They were sitting on their roofs watching the game, and I was like, bro, I feel like I'm in the 80s.
But that's mad.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's
It's awesome.
everywhere, but let's be honest. Like,
But which stadium can you see inside from the roof of your house?
My house, I can't see any.
like for instance, this is a bit off, but like in my hometown in Turkey, they had the old stadium before they knocked. Omar keeps reminding me, a friend of mine, that we burnt down. There's unit blocks around the stadium, and the stadium walls aren't that high. But the point I'm trying to get at is people were sitting out their balconies, sipping tea.
Yeah.
Like, coming back to your point, I don't know if you meant Australia.
Yeah.
But
I mean
certain other venues also have like Leichhardt. They had the people when the Corona was full peak. I think it was Leichhardt, and they actually bought a those extending stairs.
Yeah.
They actually brought one and they watched it from outside, like
There
they
you
were
go.
supporting the team.
Yeah, apparently some guy in Bilmore got a crane put in front of his house so he could watch.
Yeah, something like. I think it might have been Bill.
See, those types of stadiums, they're awesome. Are they a bitch to get to and
Yes.
a bitch to infrastructure-wise? 150%.
Yeah, definitely.
But it brings out the old heritageness to it. You look at Dragons games when they're full packed that crowd and they're all packed on that hill and someone's doing a runaway try. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And of course, those like that's what it depends. Again, this is a good bad scenario. What you determine as good and what you determine as bad. Again, we look at Bankwest Stadium, which is the
Best stadium in the world.
home stadium of
Best stadium
the
in the world.
Parramatta Eels.
No bias there.
But you look at that and you go, well, look, okay, you can see the money that is spent. It's built awesome.
Yep.
Despite that one seat that's blocked by cement, whoever owns that seat, that's unfortunate. But it's built for that. But then you got these old grounds that look awesome as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bringing it back to Adelaide Oval, dude, apparently it's like the staple stadium for the AFL. Like, for AFL, it's amazing. And I think oval stadiums, obviously, they have to be oval for the AFL to be work for the AFL.
It is
But,
an oval sport.
when you watch the Origin, dude, I like seeing a guy run, like one of the players run down, make a break, and you see the crowd jumping up and down in the highlights or in the slow motion.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't even see the crowd. That's how far they are.
Yeah.
The atmosphere wasn't at the game. I don't think it was like revved up before the game.
Yeah.
Like the grand final, the NRL grand final, bro, there was a genuine hype about it. It wasn't my team in the grand final,
same.
but I wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
Whereas the State of Origin, I don't know if it's because the end of the year, it wasn't hyped up properly. It's a different city. I just didn't feel it.
Well,
End of
game
the year.
two's on this week.
No, let's talk about game one first and how shocking it
coming
was.
back to it. So game two's in New South Wales. So you probably see a different crowd because you'll have 40,000 again, I think. Yeah, because of they open up the restrictions a bit. So 40,000 for that. So you definitely will see a bit different atmosphere.
40,000.
Yeah, because that's what they had for the grand final.
Yeah.
They
Wow,
opened it
that's
up.
pretty good.
That's where the difference I reckon is because you had 40,000 for the grand final.
Okay,
that was the first game where
So
you
you
actually
reckon
had that. in
Adelaide
yourself.
was just a complete flop?
Look, I made my view when I said I don't think NRL should be played on the oval sport, oval ground.
I agree.
Okay, and I suffer that so much when I used to go to certain games at Sydney Cricket Ground and stuff like that, and it's just like, man, you can't even yell at your own player if you're watching that they're doing well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're just not going to hear it, and you hear like when two shoulders just collide like that, you just ding, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it makes no sound. But going to the game, man, to be honest, that opening kick, and then Cook dropped it. I went, like, in my head, I was like, fuck. Like, it sort of went, really? Like, that's how we're going to start this game? And then it happened again. We had Kiri knock on. We had Tedesco knock on. Guffo had a bad game.
Guffo gave a intercept, like...
No, but he gave 2 tries. Leave Guffo alone, all right?
Yeah, because let's be honest...
He made one mistake.
To be fair, To be fair, okay, again, I'm a parody of sport, but I gotta look at normal, like, I gotta look at it from an unbiased point of view. Any player would have chucked that right, except Michael Jennings, who does not pass the ball.
Yeah, look, same. Taking that bias out, Gufferson didn't step anyone, didn't, like, do anything fancy to get Adokar on his outside. Bro, all he had to do was pass the ball.
But
He did it, and he did it. He did his job, but I don't think he did anything fantastic.
In my Guffo's defense, it's not his. He was out of position.
Which is what I was
That's
getting
right.
at.
That's right.
Let's get the fullback of the year and playing in a centre.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Tedesco didn't have the greatest game.
Tedesco had a shocking
Yeah, bro.
game.
Okay, he didn't have the greatest game. So the questions start to come up to Fitler now, which is, do you start to go, you know what? Do we put Guffo as fullback and go, you know what? And I don't know why, but I feel like Tedesco has not been himself since Sivo ran forward. I feel like ever since then, he just hasn't been himself.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And Sivo doesn't be himself every time he smashes over someone, but that's a different story. But Queensland they just worked, man.
It was heart. It was heart mentality. It was like, man, we got nothing to lose. Let's just go out there.
100%. And look at Friend. 30 years old. He's a three-time premiership winner. This is his debut.
Yeah.
And he did exactly what his job was. Why? Because that's his role, to play that role. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But look, if it was football, okay, and I'm going to make a maybe, I don't know if it's controversial or not, but if it's football and I have 2 striker positions, yes, let's say worldwide I choose Ronaldo and Messi. Let's just say hypothetically off the bat. But I still know there's an Mbappe out there. I still know there's a Neymar out there. I still know that there's all these other strikers out there that are amazing. I don't go and get Neymar and put him midfield.
That's right.
I don't go and get Mbappe and put him midfield.
Unless it's Ultimate Team.
Not ultimate.
Even
career
ultimate.
mode. The chemistry won't work.
So are you insinuating that Brad Fittler just chose the best players and just said, you know what, they'll easily slot in any position?
Emin said this off air perfectly, so I'm going to let him say it.
What?
About he opened the pack.
Dude, he opened the pack, right? He got a 91 rated Gufferson.
A what pack?
He got a
FIFA
FIFA
pack.
Ultimate Team pack. He got a Tedesco. He got a Pappenhausen. And he was like, I don't care if they're fullbacks.
Yeah.
They have speed. They can play
I think
centre.
perfect analogy.
Everyone is playing.
Everyone's playing. And you know what, bro? Let's look back at Queensland at those years, right? You have those years, for example, when Lockyer was playing, when Cooper Cronk was playing. Bro, they were good fullbacks that could play for Queensland, but they weren't picked because they already had the best fullback, the best halfback there, right? Because I'm all for those people being picked, but not when you have your best fullback. You know what I mean? Like, there should be one fullback. Get your best centre, because your best fullback isn't going to be your best centre.
And I feel like, you know what I feel like Fittler went for? I don't want to break up the team that's won.
Yeah.
I feel like he
did. Where's Fergo?
Fergo hasn't scored a try. Fuck. I'm a
Fergo
parallel
won,
spotter, but
Fergo won the second series.
But look,
Can I make an interesting point?
No, you can't.
Opinions state that it was the brilliance of Wayne Bennett,
Right.
and that it was Brad Fittler was outclassed because of Wayne Bennett's experience.
Okay, I'll give you another one then. Do you think all those players on their game, playing that game again, would be the same result?
No, but you know what? You can't take away the fact that they went 10-0. Was it 10-0 at halftime?
Yeah.
They went down 10-0 at halftime, walked in the sheds, probably got the best motivational talk they're ever going to get.
Wayne Bennett's
don't
known
worry
for
about
that.
Wayne Bennett, because look who his assistant is. Mal Meninga, who won, 8 or 9 in a row, because you have 2 amazing coaching staff there.
It's a bit debatable
With
considering
Meninga,
they had
yeah.
the superstars. They had superstars and chemistry.
Because we had superstars and we didn't win.
But we didn't have chemistry. That's the problem. Like Cooper Cronk, Cameron Smith, Greg Inglis, just to name a few. Slater. Here we go. Like, I'm even forgetting, like, Slater. You know what I mean?
I'll go back to what we just sort of discussed off air, okay? The team was that good. We always complained, why is Gagai playing hectic? Think about that. Gagai would go knock on Central in all of his rugby normal season games. He scores a hat-trick against New South Wales.
Yeah.
Why? Because the team that they built, in my opinion, it's the greatest. Obviously, it's the greatest Origin era at the moment. 8 times. What is that? 8 times in a row. 10 times in 11 years, or something like that. Think about that. That team, and who was in that team, and how they made it. Fittler's trying to emulate that, but the problem was, it just sort of feels like he was that confident.
Yeah.
Because of the plays that he has, that he just went, you know what? Even if I put Guffer here, it'll be fine.
Boys, just go out. Yeah. Enjoy yourselves.
Enjoy yourselves.
Have
We got
some fun.
this. I know it's Adelaide. There's
Enjoy
some
the
good sight viewing
Enjoy
later.
the atmosphere. Have a good time. You know, remember, it's all about fun.
I'm bringing all orange peels for you guys.
and you know what? Supporting Fittler in a way is here. In attack, for example, Gufferson he's not going to be so bad playing a centre, right? But I think it was Phil Gould during the game.
Watch
he said
your
it
words
perfectly.
carefully.
Right? Because in defence, okay, where does Gufferson usually defend from? The back as a fullback.
Yeah.
Bro, it's different to being in the line and defending. Bro, he got absolutely munched in one of the tackles, and that led to a try.
He got handed
He
off.
got palmed. Yeah, he got palmed. So he's not used to defending from that position. In attack, bro, I saw Gufferson so many times doing the supporting runs he usually does as a fullback. And, bro, that's probably going to work to your advantage. And New South Wales played that game that works for Gufferson because we were trying to get those offloads and we started fucking them up. The offloads became our hell, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I let's do predictions. What do you think? Game 2.
Game 2, I think New South Wales will probably learn from their mistakes and they'll
Do you
probably
really
win.
think so?
Yeah, I think they'll win. My worry is at Game 2. I think Queensland will not Queensland. I think Queensland will try to bring it to New South Wales and maybe New South Wales will edge it home. I think the worry is Game 3
It's Suncorp.
because that's at Queensland. Now you're going to have a team that knows that they can beat this team. Do you know what I mean? You're not going into this rubber 2-0 down and hope for the best that we just get a result out of this so we don't have a 3-0 loss. Yeah. You know for a fact you can beat this team. You know for a fact you can make them cause errors. So do you just come out with New South Wales and go, mate, it's do or die here. So I think that's why New South Wales will win. Whether it's comfortable or not, I hope it is. But in a way, I don't. Because I feel like if they win again 34-6 or something like that, they're going to go, oh, this was the performance that was supposed to be in Adelaide. Do you know what I mean? And then they'll go, well, we can replicate this in Queensland.
They actually announced the New South Wales squad today.
Yeah, things
Alright,
being
let's go.
dropped. What's his name?
Nathan Brown addition. Go the Brownsels.
Is Guffo still centre?
Good question.
Yes, he is. Gufferson's still in the squad. I don't know if he's centre, but he's in the squad.
So who's fullback?
Things being dropped.
Tedesco.
The 5'8's been dropped. What's his name?
Cleary.
Kiri.
Yeah, Kiri's been dropped.
Never rated that guy. He was carried by Kronk.
Nah, Kiri's good.
Nah.
I think Kiri didn't... Bro, I think Cleary played horrible in the first game more than Kiri
Straight out, yeah. Cleary, he
was
lost
rubbish.
Only individual.
Because it was so ironic. It was so ironic that Queensland didn't have a conversion kicker, okay? They're taking... Daly Cherry Evans was taking the kicks. He hasn't kicked since his junior years, right? And they made all their kicks. And you have Cleary, who missed... Bro, if he had gotten our conversion kicks, we could have got back into the game and gone extra time.
Keep in mind where he kicked from.
Still.
Dude, he was kicking almost from the sideline.
So did
Cherry Evans missed from right. He chucked the Moses. He missed right in front.
Yeah, the first one. Because then he got one from the side, off the edge, off a Gagai try.
But that's what I'm saying. As in, Cleary's one was hard to begin with. If he missed one like he did with Cherry Evans, I'll probably be like, what are you doing?
Because I wish he missed it like Cherry Evans, then got every single one after.
You know what? If he missed, I'll just be like, just seems like that type of game. Do you know what I mean? Where everyone was knocking on. Cleary can't kick. Guffo's getting stepped. And it's just like, Adakar got caught and almost got a try and they pushed him out. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like everything just went bad for New South Wales.
But at one stage, I really felt sorry for Adokar. There was this one where we were making a line break on his side. He caught the ball and he's on the line and he stepped down and he's like, what the fuck did you want me to do with this? Like, what did you want me to do?
Who was it? I think it was that idiot from South, Walker. Yeah, it was Walker. Walker was like, do something, Adokar. And then he went out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
What did you want him to do?
Another flop, utility. Like Brad Filler, what the fuck are you thinking? Seriously, what the fuck?
I'll ask you guys a question now that was on the media, wherever the media was. The controversy at the end, do you reckon it's controversy or not?
They say the actual game time was finished and that the TV time
was behind.
Yeah, it's behind 3 seconds or something. Oh, I won't say 3 seconds. Take that back.
Keeping in mind, because before that it was a penalty. Yeah, he sent someone off.
Yeah,
they stopped the clock.
Kafusi.
They stopped the clock. Technically, the siren didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it. The siren didn't go off.
Yeah, that is true.
And then they called time.
You know what's interesting? I saw a photo.
I could be wrong on that one.
I saw a photo and it was there was a free player overlap.
Yes, on the right.
I'm sure you guys saw it too.
Yeah, on the right.
On the right. So it was they just needed to pass it out wide. What was that one defender gonna do? You know what I mean? So yeah, they say, which is another question I'd like to ask is the fact that why is there a fucking game time and there a TV time? Like, why is it different? You know what I mean? Yeah. Why is the producer going, oh, what's the time? Tell me. Oh, yeah, stop.
It should be linked.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's big organisation like NRL and they can't, you know, what do they call it? Sync times together. Are you serious?
See, look, I can always go, I don't want to be one of those supporters and go, it was the clock, it was this.
We
had 79
exactly.
minutes to get this shit done.
Bro, and even if we played that, were we going to score a try? Were we guaranteed?
You know what we would have done? We would have went left and tried to do overlap on 2 players, you know, on the edge somewhere like this.
I was hopeful. Like, there was 4 minutes to go, and friends around me were like, nah, we lost. And they were like, they full gave up. And I was like, 4 minutes left. Okay, we can do this. And never again.
We can do it.
Yeah, honestly, I was like that. I was like, yeah, we got this. I go, bro, it's coming. I go, we only need to try. That's it.
Because straight out, we deserve to lose that game. That's
Yeah,
how bad
I
we
agree.
played. Straight out.
We did play bad. You guys reckon game 2 New South Wales?
Damn right, bro.
Yeah, I think
we
so.
got Paulo. We got Nathan Brown. We got Guffo.
Brown's coming off the bench.
Exactly,
But
bro.
see, you know,
Impact player.
again, another small thing. With Para, like, we always notice Paulo doing what?
Offload.
Offloading.
He didn't
There
do
you go.
any.
Because,
He
no,
didn't
no, no.
do
But
I know.
But
Or maybe he did 1 or 2. Let's
Cuz-
give him the benefit.
yeah.
But he would do like 10 in a Para game.
Yeah, bro.
And it would open so many lines. Imagine how many fast players are in the New South Wales squad that Para don't have, and we can't utilize this
That's actually
offload
good.
system.
Unless he was shut down.
But bro,
You know what, like-
honestly,
No, I think like every time he looked, there was just no one there.
in the first half, Paulo had a good half, bro.
He did have a good half.
He had a
I
very
agree.
good
And
half
then he
the
went
first
off.
half.
Because it made me proud, bro. Straight
He
up.
played very, very good. Because when you talked about why New South Wales was 10-0 in front, it was because of our forwards in the first half, right? And Paulo was a massive impact on that.
Yeah.
And that's not being biased. He played really, really good. And you know what I would have liked to see, honestly, is Paulo come off and then like a Brown come on. Because Brown puts in a lot of intensity into a game,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
His post-contact meters is ridiculous. The guy gets touched and he just keeps going and going and going. That guy's like a bonehead, bro.
Well,
Yeah, he is.
No excuses.
My bonehead.
To summarize, but let's not forget that we had 2 interchanges within the first 20.
The injuries,
Cordner
yeah.
went off. And
Dude, why is
someone
Cordner
else-
even playing, bro?
Well, there's that problem itself because a lot of the people are saying, well, you've copped how many head knocks
Four.
this year?
Four this year.
4.
Dude, and how did he come off that HIA anyway?
They've started an
Investigation?
investigation
Oh,
into
they're
it.
saying that he's going to miss game 2 and
Guys,
possibly
what did he do?
series.
He did nothing. Like, the guy's useless. He's past his...
Captain of New
you
South
know,
Wales, my friend.
What did he captain?
He's your general.
He captained a head knock. That's what he captained, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Oh,
Because, and that was another thing. Late in the season, there were so many injuries in that game, bro.
yeah, man.
Which game?
In the Origin game, it was like everyone was ready to fall apart. Like the whole season's tiredness.
Who
and-
who got flattened where their leg was like?
Oh, bro,
folded?
that was horrible. Bro.
Who was that?
The Queensland player. I don't know.
Nah, it was New South Wales.
Was it New
wasn't
South
it?
Wales?
I can't remember.
Remember, someone got folded and I think they ripped their hamstring or
Bro,
something.
that knee looked disgusting because the way
Anyways.
it folded.
I can't remember.
Good luck to you.
But New South Wales, hopefully game 2, they'll fix their shit up. Well, the other positive note for me, I shouldn't say positive, at least I had a positive note here. Apex. Apex Season 7 rolled out for anyone that doesn't know.
I haven't
Battle
played it
Royale.
yet, man. I thought I had my PS4 on rest mode, and I thought, beautiful, hectic. I've got it ready. I'm coming home. You know, ignored my kids. I'm like, give me an hour. Let me suss this new map out. Nah. What I ended up doing was the night before, PlayStation Plus, you get your 2 free games every month. Like an idiot, I started downloading those 2 and I paused it because I was watching Netflix. So
Priorities.
I fucked myself.
Well, if you're an Xbox supporter, you're probably still downloading at the moment because you have the biggest update. But all jokes aside, Apex Season 7, there was a lot of... Do you mind putting your phone on silent, man? I'm trying to talk you.
Because it is on silent.
Okay. No, joke. What was I trying to say?
Sorry,
Apex Season 7
my
rolled out.
apologies.
A lot of positives about the game. You had a lot of heavy duty streamers coming out and giving
Fuck
a lot
the
of
streamers. It's what we say. that
No,
matters.
it's all about the pro players. If the pro players don't like it, that will always get nerfed or changed. Well, the new map's amazing. That's my opinion. Absolutely massive.
I'll be sussing it out tonight.
What else is there? R99's back.
Yeah.
Prowler's in the care package now. That makes me sad.
I didn't like Prowlers.
They should have put the vault there. Oh, but then if you put
Nah,
the vault
Vault
there,
there.
then no one's gonna get energy ammo. But
Yeah, that's
the
true.
biggest complaint about the game, which I think they just rectified today, was now you haven't played it, but me and Emmy noticed this massively yesterday. It was the battle pass. You could be spending so much time in that game, and look how long it took for me just to get to level 2 and 3. Yeah,
I
level
know.
2 and 3.
Took ages.
Because-
So, did they put up another update to rectify that?
So what they've done is, so originally you needed 10,000 stars or 10,000 points or whatever it was to get a level up. They reduced that from 10,000 to 5,000, which sort of does help. But I still think that's overdone because, man, some of the challenges that I got, they're not easy challenges. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me to get stars, like, opening week, I've got deal 20,000 damage. Now, I get it. Some hectic players out there, they'll probably do that in a day. Few hours. You know, I get that. I don't play that game that often to do 20,000 damage for at least another week or two. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I had for first week, I'd get 40 kills with a Mastiff.
Because you know what my challenges are? Play one game.
Open Apex. But to be fair, and this is where another argument of mine is, the Battle Pass rewards aren't that great.
No.
They're not as great as what they can be or have been. I think that because EA and Respawn know that most people finish their Battle Pass, they're going to get the next Battle Pass for free. So I think sort of the effort is starting to die away.
And they're going to start putting it into those premium skins that you get with events.
Look at the premium skins that we get in the games now. They're amazing. And we have people that go and buy skins and stuff like that, put money into the game, which you're more than welcome to do. It's not my...
It's not pay to win anyway.
It's not pay to win. So, but you can clearly see that their agenda is more trying to push people for those events, because what do we have? Where are we now? We're in November. So you're going to have the Christmas limited time mode come out, which I'm pretty sure will come with Christmas skins and stuff like that, like last year.
Mm-hmm. Don't celebrate.
So it's just going to be massive skins, and they're going to want people to pay for that shit, and it's not cheap.
Is there a new character?
Horizon.
How is she?
She did came out.
What's with the girls, man? Like,
why? Revenant.
The last 2 were girls.
And
now it's 3 girls.
Last 3 were girls.
Bit sexist, isn't it?
Yeah, but the first season, initial season,
and Revenant, like, is not even a male.
Revenant is the man.
Not really. What is he? He's like
a boy.
He's
a boy now. Is a robot. I'm a boy. But he's Horizon. I think Horizon has been the best legend
since Octane. No, since Crypto.
Since Revenant.
Oh, Revenant.
What does she do?
After, yeah.
What's her specialty?
Her specialty is sort of similar to Octane. So instead of a jump pad, she does a gravity hold that you can literally throw people up in the air.
Do you remember how I was activating those things that were making us fly in the season before, and you guys were like, "What's that?"
Yeah, the blue thing. She actually just generally chuck it.
So it's like a grenade, like a gravity grenade.
You can sort of use that as your advantage, or sort of a get out of free jail card.
And that's it.
And she's got and her ultimate is a gravity hold. The gravity hold, in my opinion, is a massive ulti, because what it does, you throw it and it opens a black hole, and it sucks everything, like as in every person, pretty much, to the center. And you just pick them off like they're ducks.
What's the distance like? Like how close?
The closer you are, the more it sucks you in, I think.
The closer, it's literally hard to walk out of there. Like, you're walking pretty slow.
That's pretty OP, man.
And her normal passive, which is always on, is when you say you jump off a building, you know, you do that whole land and you stop for a sec. Yeah. She doesn't have that.
Oh, really?
It's bang and just keep walking.
I was wondering why you're jumping. I didn't know that was her passive. But talking about the gravity thing, her ulti, bro, we used it in a really effective way.
I have Horizon, yeah.
So I think Fatih was playing Crypto. His sister was playing Horizon. So she dropped the thing that sucks them all together. He put off a Crypto ulti with his drone. All their shields cracked, and we absolutely munched them.
It's slaughter.
It's one of those games that they have improved a lot, especially with the
I agree.
Like what season 6 was, what season 5 was. Like, yeah, we enjoyed it, but this is a major change. There's a lot of things that still need to be addressed. Like yesterday, sound is a massive problem still. Now, when I say sound, for the casual supporter or the casual player, you probably won't notice it. Okay? But when I'm opening a door and there's a team running at me and I can't hear their footsteps, there's a problem. Okay? A car drives, or the new car, by the way, drives past, and sometimes I don't hear it.
Yeah. So is there like one car in the whole map?
No, there's like so many of them, bro.
It's one WRX. It's just hectic. They got the what's it called? Trident. They got the Trident. There's usually one in every major area. So you can have probably maybe 8, 9 or 10 or something like that marked on the map. And it's mad, because the good thing about that is, and I love the fact that you can't run people over. Do you know what I mean? That's good, because it breaks the purpose of anyone playing the game. Everyone can just go run to a car, and you don't need guns or anything, just run to it.
It just turns into what Fortnite and stuff is.
Pretty much. But what I do love about the car is anyone that's seated in there, you can shoot the car and it damages the people in the car.
Just like the Halo mechanic used to be.
That is awesome. And
stupid.
Because you're a casual.
Stupid.
Good player.
Like you're in a vehicle. If I was in a car and getting shot at, and if it was a decent car, I mean Apex is a shoot 'em.
It's a battle royale.
So you'd put in a decent car. You wouldn't put in a freaking a car that. Anyways,
I don't know where you're going
because
with this.
I was just saying, well, why would you damage the person when you're damaging the vehicle?
Bro, because
You know what I
otherwise
mean?
you're just going to have people driving around all the time doing nothing.
No. To an extent, I'm saying instead damage the vehicle, and then like for instance, Warzone, you do get hurt obviously if you're shooting through the window. But if you're shooting the vehicle, you've got a bar where damage decreases. Obviously, the vehicle and it ends up blowing up. You know what I mean? Whereas you're just shooting the vehicle, and the vehicle's still alright after you kill those people. You know what I mean?
But it's not an old mechanic, bro. Like I said, Halo 1 and 2 use this same mechanic.
And who
the
plays
same thing.
Halo
Because what you have to consider is like the car
hater.
shield is a part of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the mad thing about the car is, say if you're Gibby, when you throw your dome, the dome protects the car and you can drive the dome around.
Oh no!
Yeah. When you're
I guess it makes sense. He's got the dome thing there.
When you're caustic, you can trap your car. So if you go
just
past
start
one, the
poisoning.
gas goes and the gas just runs. I saw one episode. I think I was watching, who was it? Shroud play? Shroud or Lulu, one of them two. And this team just drives past, just got caustic smoke. Just like you can't shoot them. Every person they drive past, everyone's just coughing because they're dying. And what else was there? You can and what I did like about that, you can shield up, you can load, you can obviously shoot off it. Rampart can put a thing, turret gun and shoot off it. So they did that pretty well. But another bits of the downfall, they got to fix their servers. They got massive server issues. We saw it yesterday when the
massive
champion
influx
squad.
of players, but so
I think that's their servers. Look,
true.
be fair, if you're building a map like this, if you're building and you know people are going to come back, unfortunately, this is season 7, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this shouldn't be happening.
Be a little professional, guys.
Yeah, go.
No, sorry, keep going.
I think this map is perfect for tournament because we've seen, I don't know if you guys have watched any tournaments, but I've seen a lot where it happens in Kings Canyon where you can have two teams end up in two major spots and there's like literally no loot. Here it's loot in flux. Like you can. Really this is
hectic.
And there's one reason why.
What are you guys complaining about?
One reason why I'm never playing with you in this game. Okay, and I'm pointing at this guy here. Okay, because you know why? All he's gonna do is he's gonna wish he could find more backpacks to go and loot other places. Like he's gonna think this map is a shopping center, literally a shopping center. He's gonna go, I want to go in. I need more ammo. I need some shields. Maybe I can pick up milk for the wife and get bread.
Majority of the time, 90% of the time,
you're looting.
No. Every time I loot and I've got, you know what, I'm set. I've got everything I need.
You still look through loot boxes.
Yeah. Because what about if I got that thing that I missed?
No, what I was gonna mention was, bro, I ended up dying. Like some guy would just come out and go, pop, pop, dead.
Bro, I was playing with him last week on the old map. He was geared. I'm talking purple everything. And he's still going for death boxes. I'm like, bro, the storm's coming. Still going for death boxes. Has the storm's coming. Me and the other guy got in, and we were fighting a team with just two of us because he was too far behind trying to pop syringes to make it out of the circle. And I was like, really?
No, you know what it was?
And then he rage quit.
Cause no. You know what it was? Actually, I never explained to you what happened. There was a box, and I kept switching over this what's the optics.
Oh my god!
And so what ended up happening? I kept getting the wrong one, so I ran, and then I'm like, nah, I want it.
Fucking hell!
So I ran back. I'm like, I got time, and then I was like, oh fuck, I don't have time. So like you mentioned, I'm going.
But that's the reason why I don't play with you.
I'm no pro, but I'm gonna point out some negatives that I have about the map.
Yeah, go.
One, I like Apex for its colors, right? When you play Warzone, you're playing camo, blah, blah. Every season, when the new skins come out, we're like, man, that's a nice color. Look how cool it is. It's the colors that make a thing. So one of my complaints is the map is very colorful, okay? When you're playing, for example, Kings Canyon or World's Edge, you have a bright pink lifeline. Sticks out like dog's balls. You can see them from a mile away, right? With the map, I feel like there's so much color that I actually have to look for players. Like, I've got to go into my scope, search around, which is not exactly a bad thing, but sometimes I feel like there's too many colors, there's too much happening for me. That's one thing. The other thing that I don't like about it is I feel like it's taken away from the tactical richness of Apex. How? I'll give an example of World's Edge, right? where you're coming out of fragment and you're going towards train yard. You know that there's this one little gap in the cliffs that you can get through. You got to get in there early or wrap around there. Otherwise, you're going to be at a choke point, right? I feel like the new map, there's no choke points. It's just flat land. Look, again, how many games did we play? 10 games maximum? I don't know the map 100%. But I feel like moving to the circle required no actual thinking. It's that open and vast that you can run there from multiple directions. I feel like that takes out the skill about it a little bit because the thing that differentiates me from a lot of players is, and Fatih is someone who's taught me this, is playing for ground advantage. And around Kings Canyon or around World's Edge, I was finding myself going, man, we need to go around here, otherwise we're going to end up on lower ground. And not taking away that I'm not familiar with this map yet, like I am not familiar with it. When I was moving to certain parts of the thing as the circle was closing, the storm was coming in, I felt like, just run straight, bro. You don't have to think about anything. Just keep running straight.
With me, look, I get what you're trying to say, but I can't comment on the map yet because I haven't played it enough to completely figure it out. Now, for World's Edge, think about it. We didn't know many of the choke points. We didn't know the rings. We didn't know what's its name? Where most of the buildings, how we can get to them, what's the aspect, like if I cover this spot, where am I open from? We haven't figured that part out. So I'll give that second part a TBA, if that makes sense. The first one, look, I love the colors and I get what you're trying to say, but what can they do? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's either that or we're going to go nighttime mode and I'm not carrying it.
Yeah, I understand that. It's going to take time to get used to all the flashing colors and stuff like that. But coming back to my second point that you said for TBA, the amount of games we played last night, we never found ourselves in a position where we went, oh, we fucked up. We're in a really bad spot here.
Well,
except when we got left completely open. That's a different story. But I'm talking, there's 3 teams left. We're in the last, couple of rings now. And we're going, oh, fuck, man, we should have gone there before the ring closed because now we have nowhere to go.
Well, that depends because, again, we didn't play that many games. So we could you can come and say that we were in the best position because we're so used to playing that way.
That's true, too.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that we versed animals and that we were the best in the game because, to be fair, there was a lot of crap players on last night as well. Maybe none was on, we didn't know. But what I'm trying to say was... It seemed a lot of the teams actually didn't know what high ground actually was, if that makes sense. Like, I get it, stand up higher than the other person.
Respectfully, I think you just got to give it a bit more time.
Yeah.
Like, let's just go for a weekend first, play it properly.
Because even for me, like, we go to the towers, yeah? At the moment, I don't know how to secure that tower. Yeah. Like that 3-level spinning tower, the one that's Wheel of Fortune style.
Just give it 2 weeks. We'll get back to it.
Give it a couple of weeks and I can go, you know what? I can cover this spot. I can cover this spot.
That's just first impressions. Obviously, playing the first night, that's what I noticed. That like way more open than World's Edge. I felt like there was less choke points.
It does look. I haven't even played it. It does look open. It's very. I agree with you.
Bro, there's sections like last night we got caught and his team started pushing us, and I found myself, and I don't do this on World's Edge very often. Yeah. Where I've gone, bro, I've got nothing to hide against here. Okay, I am completely in the open.
There is, you just got to utilize it well. There was one game that I was playing and I literally used a tree. Like,
do you reckon
I was fighting in this, like, I'm like this to a tree. And I'm literally wiggling by and I'm like, this is all I got and I got to make work. It worked. Why? Because the other guy sucked.
Shit, yeah.
But when you push teams, you can't just go, oh, there's a team over there and I'm going to go and just fight them. Because there's like a massive just grass.
Like, if you want to push a team, you got to book your hotels on the way to get there because you got to at least do one stop to sleep before you get to a team. Bro, the map is that big.
Yeah, there's the longest zip line in the world.
So then, I guess snipers are going to be useful then, I guess.
They are to a certain extent because with the car available, okay, you can get to someone like that, which people are still trying to figure it out.
Oh, so it's fast.
It is fast. It's very fast. If you can start to figure that out, you can sort of make snipers sort of not obsolete, but sort of wear them down and close the distance on them pretty quickly. But if you're wandering around and you're in the middle of the grass area and stuff like that, and someone's got a sniper, you have a high chance of getting picked off. Do you know what I mean? Unless you're an Octane or a Loba or a Pathfinder, Horizon maybe, a Wraith, The others, they got no chance. They got no chance to get in that. If you're a Gibby or a Caustic, you got to either throw your dome or you shoot your gases just to get out of there.
Gibby has a little bit more chance, but Caustic in the open. Oh,
That's my
bro.
favorite player.
That's
yeah,
what I mean.
I'm a Caustic main too, bro. But
So you're saying he's gonna be ineffective?
I think you got to figure it out. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Oh, I'll
Because-
let you guys know.
Because
I'm playing it tonight straight away.
Because Caustic is more into the building and secure yourself. Try to set up like that type of player.
Yeah.
It's sort of hard to say where he's good. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of buildings and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong.
So many.
And there's plenty
In the
of-
new map.
there is plenty
Yeah.
of building.
Bro,
But where the ring finishes, we just haven't figured that part out. I haven't figured that part out most of the
What do you
bro,
mean?
we've
The,
only played 10
the ring
games.
isn't random.
The ring is random.
okay.
It is they have a set of rings. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
probably maybe say 20, 30 different rings. Players figure it out where it's going to land.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
'cause
that.
we-
I thought it was always random.
We pretty much figured them out. In Kings Canyon, we'll be like, bro, this is
Nah.
either finishing here or here.
Yeah.
Like, you played enough, you know where the ring's going to finish.
yeah.
But
Fuck.
what I do like is the evolution of the Evo shield. Bro, you know in season 5?
Since
You,
six.
sorry, 6. You get a purple shield, bro, in minutes I can make that a red shield.
It
In
was like
minutes.
500 damage. or
Yeah. Bro, now they've made that red shield 750 damage. And it just takes so much longer to get to that. Bro, 250 damage is a lot of damage.
It's pretty much a
Cause
kill.
I
Yeah.
think that's a great idea, bro.
It's
Like,
awesome. Yeah.
By the time I get to that third, fourth ring, I'm fighting a full team with red shields, man.
Yeah.
It's too easy. I was getting and I'm a shit player.
Yeah, but maybe just loot less. But look, overall, look, I give season 7 positive. I'm not going
I
to give it a
agree,
number
positive.
because I don't know it yet enough. I'm glad, like I said, the R99's back. I
Yeah.
love lasering people again with it. But I just need to play it a bit more. I haven't played it since they did the battle pass change, the 5,000 star thingy. So I just got to see how that goes. But what I also love about it, and I'll probably just my last feedback on it, is when there's a fight, it's the third party element sort of not dead, but it's a lot harder because the map is so big. It's like, oh, there's a team fighting there.
We won't make it in time.
You're literally running. Like, it's like,
Wait for us.
yeah, it's like you run for 15 minutes and you're like, 2 squads left. All right, sweet. Like there was one game where I managed to just travel through like 3 different buildings and there was 2 squads left.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. Like, and I haven't even seen half the other map, but we're starting to figure out names. We found Dick.
Yeah, bro. You know, on like Kings Canyon, when there's 3 squads left, you're like, there's probably a squad here. There's
Yeah.
probably a squad here, bro. You don't know where any squad
Yeah.
is. And bro, coming to buildings, Fatih and his sister landed in one building, all right. And Fatih was like, "Why do you have to land next to me, bro?" What I didn't realize, bro, get this. He was in a building that was on top of another building, so I could go and like loot this other building that was completely under him, and there's enough loot for everyone.
Oh, so the buildings are higher.
there's
Higher, I don't know.
Bro, I would say they're higher. You know why? Where the hotel and stuff is, I think that there's a lot more vertical space in this map.
Yeah.
Like when you think of Kings Canyon, what's the highest point? Where that tower is? What's it called?
Kings Canyon.
Yeah,
Kings Canyon is probably.
you know where that tower is? What's
Yeah,
that? That's
yeah.
that's the most vertical it goes. Whereas the new map, there's heaps of towers. You can go up, bro. You fall down elevator shafts and you're like falling for 10 seconds. That's how high this place is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give a positive for Apex. Whether it's going to be popular in months' time, we'll find out. So I think the season's finishing in January, so it's not a long season. I think 80 days or something like that.
What do you mean? And there's season 8's
Yeah,
coming out.
I'm never
Nice
finishing. I'm never
Seriously?
finishing that battle
Yeah,
pass.
But speaking about that building, they need vertical sound.
Yes.
They have to bring that in, man. It's a pain in the fucking ass. Fortnite does it very well, vertical sound. So knowing the ability who's upstairs and who's downstairs, and even when I was playing Call of Duty at one stage,
Best game in the world.
is it Modern Warfare the new one? No, Warzone. Sorry.
Warzone.
Even then, the audio was fucking horrendous. Like and
Yeah,
Apex
yeah.
has implemented
Yes.
that as well, which is
Yes, I
especially
agree.
in World's Edge. You know, that place in Fragment, the 4-level building where you sort of open from every side.
The construction.
The construction little place area. Someone's walking. You don't know where the hell they are. You're like,
Yeah.
are they upstairs, downstairs?
No, is
Where are
this
they?
New one.
No,
The
this
new
was the
season?
old one. So this is the last season. They still haven't fixed it in this season. Like,
But you know what? Like,
Yeah.
the Apex was much better in determining the sound than Warzone
Oh,
was.
definitely.
Yeah,
Warzone, bro, I'm hearing footsteps and the guy's right in front of me. Like you think the guy's far so I'm like, oh, I've got enough time. I'm trying to figure out, is he coming from the right or left? Nah, he's right in front of me, pop, and he
I
drops
think
me.
Call of Duty even has a problem, not with just vertical, but they've got horizontal problems.
Yeah.
You don't know how far they are from you from the sound of their footsteps.
I stopped playing Warzone based on the element of the audio.
Same.
Okay, whether that's fixed or not, I wouldn't have a clue. But to be fair, every Call of Duty game is the fucking same. Okay, I don't care if 13-year-olds smash me for this or 16-year-olds. I don't give a shit. Every Call of Duty is the same. It's on the same server. It's got the same fucking no anti-cheat whatsoever. Pretty much, they've got literally the same game, and then they just get another label and they just go, "Pat,
that's
we're gonna
because-
call it something
Bro,
else."
do you remember the good days of Call of Duty, like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2? In my opinion, the good days of Call of Duty.
Modern Warfare.
Modern
2,
Warfare
man.
2, yeah. Even that,
Fuck it,
but I
what-
would say that the cap was Black Ops 2. After that, they just went to shit, in my opinion, right?
Nah, not even.
Bro,
I think. Sorry.
It became an annual game, that's why. Not
Yeah.
even an annual, because,
It was a
bro, they're
moneymaker.
pumping them out in less than a year. So
Cash
But that's what I'm trying to say. It's the
that's
same
why
game.
it
They
became
don't have
shit.
to improve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It became
Cash
shit.
cows.
Whereas when you think of like Black Ops 1 to Black Ops 2, bro, there's like 2 or 3 years difference.
Yeah, it's
You know, they've
I
had
agree.
time to develop a game. Now it's become a FIFA. Bro, FIFA's the same thing. Slap a different label on it, change a couple of mechanics with how the ball spins, and that's it. It's a new game.
I've seen so many videos on FIFA. I feel sorry for half these FIFA players.
Bro, I was just
There's
talking.
some horrible fucking stuff that's happening. in
Bro,
that
I
game.
know. One of my friends today admitted that he had broken a couple of controllers since getting FIFA 21. I was like, bro, I am so happy I didn't
Is
get it.
FIFA 21 now?
Wow,
I didn't even know, bro.
Welcome to a couple of weeks ago.
Came out September. No, October. September,
End of October or something like that. But no, it's I can't see myself playing another FIFA for a while. I do have the PS5
I was
coming
playing FIFA 20 last
hopefully
night,
next
actually.
week, so I'm gonna try PES out. I can't not play a football game. So I'm gonna give Pro Evolution a go. And a lot of the comments that I've been reading about it is you can actually update the game yourself via the USB of your console to get pretty much the realness effect, which is the actual real leagues, the real badges and all that type of stuff added into the game as a sort of like a mod thingy.
Okay.
And you can do that on console. As soon as I heard that, I said, yeah, why not? Because I don't want to play as Blue London and Red London and Manchester
Oh, is
City
this
Red.
PES?
Yeah, because they don't have the licenses.
Yeah, they don't have a license.
You know what I mean? Unless you're like Barcelona. But yeah, I'm thinking about giving Pro Evolution because FIFA is beyond me now because of how it's not a game for me, in my opinion. It's just more, it's either luck or how much money you got. It's simple as that.
Yeah, it's unplayable in my opinion.
Like, don't get me wrong, there is, and I won't take the credit away from, there is absolute machine players on that game. Do you know what I mean? When in the tournament itself, you have your, the guy from Saudi Arabia, I forgot his name. And the guy from England, I forgot their names. But they're gun players. And what burns me is their version of the game is completely different because they don't get the scripted version like you and I get. But it looks like another miss from FIFA to me, unfortunately. But another thing on regarding football terms, something funny happened to one of the teams that we actually don't like, and with Manchester United.
They're just a disgrace. They're just the embarrassment of English Premier League. Like, honestly.
To be
No,
fair, let's
yeah,
be fair.
yeah, alright,
we
no,
do
no, no,
have a
I'm
Chelsea
just
supporter and we
I'm-
have a Liverpool supporters here, so we're talking about Manchester United. But
Of course, I'm going to say from the get-go, I'm biased.
But
Man United suck.
I'm not biased. I don't like Istanbul Başakşehir and I don't like Man United. I hate both teams. But for me, I just have to mention it from a team where, because I see it on Facebook a lot from all these United supporters, we're back and we're doing this. How do you go from beating PSG and RB Leipzig to losing to Arsenal and then Istanbul Başakşehir?
Bro,
And mind you, Başakşehir have not won a Champions League game ever.
This is the first time they're in the Champions League.
No, they were in before.
No, last year.
No, they played Europa last year.
Didn't they go to the...
Yes,
They
correct.
didn't
Yes,
qualify
yes.
because they came second, so they didn't qualify.
Didn't they go to the third round? They lost that as well? In the Champions League? Oh, you're talking about the actual group stage?
Yeah, they never made it to the
Yeah,
group
yeah.
stages. Yeah,
And they beat Manchester United. And if you actually watch the highlights
Yeah.
or something like the defense,
It was disgraceful.
horrendous.
Like, when's the last time you saw defense as bad as that? That
Man
guy,
United.
bro, like,
like just a couple of weeks ago.
yeah,
Like,
actually,
that's
yeah,
it.
true.
Like,
Sorry.
Bro, have you been watching Liverpool defend?
Like, how could you support Manchester United? I don't understand.
I won't go that far.
Nah.
But
I'm
look,
gonna go down that road.
I'll ask you guys a question, and please do not be biased about this, okay?
Yeah.
Now, Man United have spent probably, £250 million or something like that over the course of 2-3 years. If you start seeing results like this, and I think they're 12th or 13th in the league with a game in hand, okay? Do you start to go and start worrying?
Relegation.
Not relegation. Do you start worrying, is this the right manager? Do you know what I mean? Is this the right manager? Or do you go to the manager, is there something within your team? Like, because they're saying that, you know what, it's time to get rid of Paul Pogba.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you start to go to the manager, you know what, we're going to give you a bit more trust, get rid of the players you don't want to get rid of, and get the players that you want to, but we're not going to give you that war chest that we gave you straight up the front again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to give you £200 million. If you want to buy players, you need to get rid of players.
Yeah.
Sort of the way that, not Tottenham, but more how some other teams have done. For example, like Chelsea, I know we're big spenders, but in certain scenarios, we made a lot of money off Morata, I don't know how, and we sold Hazard.
Hazard,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we had the ability to spend money. Do you know what I mean? A bit more over budget, but fair enough. No excuses there. But you look at Man U and go, you know what? You were given a chance. You can't keep going, oh, we're doing good here and then coming back down. We're doing good, we're coming back down. Do you just start to go, you know what? It's time to
Get rid
go.
of Solskjaer.
Well, you have... The rumor is... Okay, this is
They're
again,
already looking for one, aren't they?
the big rumor is you got an absolute amazing manager who does not have a job, which is Mauricio Pochettino. Okay, he turned Tottenham into what they are now.
Yeah.
Okay, and without him, I don't think Tottenham would have ever had that stadium built, like that new stadium, because he was an amazing manager. He knows how to bring it out of the youth. He knows how to build a team without spending over the budget type of money. Now he's going to a team that has superstars. I'm not going to lie, they have superstars in that team. If you take out Harry Maguire, they're a better team.
Wow. Shots fired.
But I think Man United supporters don't want him in that team. But if you look at a manager like that sitting and lingering, and your manager's doing this, do you start to go, you know what, I can't miss out on this guy.
Definitely.
So, and
It's hard not to, bro. I mean, no one wants to be losers.
Bro, this win 2, lose 2 trend for Man U is not something that's just happened this season. They went through this last season.
It's been
as
a
well.
while, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, bro, we were just talking about this off air with Fatih, and I was going, bro, what is going on with Man United? I mean, they pumped Leipzig 5-0, and Leipzig's not a pushover team, bro. Were they in the semi-finals last year in the Champions League?
Leipzig, semis.
Semis.
Semis
Bro,
or quarters one.
they were a gun team, bro. They were giving, Bayern Munich and stuff a run in their own league. And Bayern Munich, as we know,
to a degree.
To a degree. But Bayern Munich were the Champions League winners, bro. So they're not a pushover team as well. They're a strong team. Bro, we were going, oh, man, they took this break over the international period and they've come back as superstars. They were smashing it. And then they lose to Arsenal. Then they get pumped by Başakşehir. I'm going to say pumped because, bro,
They weren't in it.
Yeah, exactly. And if you get the market value of the two teams, bro, 2 players of Man United are probably double the whole Başak's
the whole team. Yeah.
And the stadium.
Bro, but Man U, if you are a club that has a really strong supporting, you're one of the biggest supported clubs in the world, right?
Yeah, in the world.
Başakşehir doesn't have supporters. The supporters are the players' families. That's all they have. And you lost.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But, like, I think it's time for Solskjaer to go because all last year we talked about, we need to give him more time. He's still trying. Bro, you can't spend that much money and not get results.
Yeah.
He was riding a wave after they reopened because of the coronavirus. They had that halt. He was riding a wave that brought him up to 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay, and everyone was like, you know what? Next year, a bit more investments. We can do this. They didn't invest. They went. In my opinion, again, I could sound like an absolute dickhead here. Yeah, they went and got Cavani. Okay, Cavani isn't a Manchester United headline transfer. Does that make sense?
Because Cavani, in my opinion, is an MLS player now, bro. The guy's at the end of his career.
And to be fair, he's done. I know he comes off the bench, but Like, you have that much in attack. Your problem wasn't Cavani to begin with.
It's a midfield.
No, it's a defense.
Yeah,
You need
it's
to figure
defense. But, bro, all year we talked about how we needed another Pogba. How Harry Maguire's not strong enough to be a centre-back or whatever on his own. Bro, it's the two things that you didn't do.
If I had to give advice, okay, now listen to me, Manu. All right? Matic is past his prime. Okay, he can
Bro,
play.
I swear I didn't even. I was like, is this guy still playing? Well, I was gobsmacked.
He left Chelsea at his peak. Okay, he played all right under Mourinho at the first part, and then he's sort of been downhill. He's like, in my opinion, he'll fit well at Everton. Okay, in my opinion.
Bro,
Pogba,
Everton are playing well.
Pogba,
Yeah, they are.
I don't think Solskjaer can get the best out of Pogba, and I don't think Pogba is ready to offer his best to Man U. I think that's just the relationship that they have. Pogba can fuck off to Real Madrid. Okay, no disrespect to him. Okay,
Big disrespect. You get paid that much, brother. You don't need your manager to give you a pep talk to rise up.
His agent is a fuckwit as well. I have to give him a thing for that. But let's take that out. You got Harry Maguire. There's too much pressure on this guy to begin with. There is so much pressure.
It comes with that fee, bro.
Not only did you pay 80 million.
You don't get paid.
Okay. You were an English international starter for England who made the semi-finals of the World Cup. Mind you, played great.
Yeah.
You played good. Whether he's worth that price tag, you can debate that all you like. Not only that, you went and made him captain. Like an idiot. This guy has been in this club for a year or two. Do you know what I mean? Why not give it to someone
who's been there
a bit longer?
Yeah.
You know, I know Rashford's young. I get that. But there's still players that had been longer than Maguire there. But I think he went for that, I want to give it to someone. Like, he's trying to replicate that Vidic, that Rio
Terry.
Ferdinand, the Terry element and stuff like that. And it's not working. Do you know what I mean? It's generally not working. So you got to replace that.
Bro, straight out, in my personal opinion, you give that captain's arm badge to Rashford. Bro, how much has he been stepping up for that team? How clinical has he been in finishing? Bro, when you think of how good they played over those patches of good they played, because it's all been Rashford.
Rashford, yeah, bro.
I think I know Rashford's playing great, or has played great. He still has his down things here and there. I think he just needs to mature a bit more to get that ban.
Yeah, that's true. He's very young. But, bro, if I had to choose between Rashford and Maguire, honestly, I'm choosing Rashford.
Yeah, if I choose between the two, yeah, I agree with you from that perspective. If I had to choose between the two, then you got the whole new dilemma of who's your number 9. That's another dilemma, because Martial comes out, and it's like, oh, score 3-4 goals here and there and stuff, and it's like, oh, Martial's back, and then he's gone for a while.
Why?
And that's what I mean. I don't know. Is it Solskjaer not getting the best out of him? Like, in my opinion, again, I'm giving you advice. Listen up, man. All right.
For free.
Instead of going and spending so much money on Maguire, okay, we've seen a few players where you can go and get gun defenders and for a bit cheaper. Do you know what I mean? Harry Maguire, again, I'm probably being biased here, but in my opinion, Harry Maguire is not worth 80 million, but you have Soyuncu who's 40.
Ozan Kabak, bro.
Okay, I'm only naming Turks here. Yeah. Okay, but you still have David Alaba at Bayern Munich, who suggested he's going to leave. Why wouldn't you make a push for him? Do you know what I mean? You have what's that guy? The one that Tottenham bought from Wolves. I forgot his name, but again, I think they got him for 12 mil. Do you know what I mean? What Man United should have done, and I don't know if they'll go for it, but they should have at least tried. Go and get Harry Kane. This Harry Kane, you can clearly see he wants to win trophies.
Because Harry Kane is having the season start of his life.
Yeah, him and Son.
Bro, him and Son are amazing.
That chemistry is beautiful.
And you know what sucked for Tottenham last year was that they were both out. They were never together last season. Either Son was injured or then Kane was out. Like, they never had them together.
And then they didn't really connect after the break from the coronavirus. But that's what he is. He wants to play. And as a Chelsea supporter, I'm going to say Tottenham's not a big enough club for Harry Kane. Ooh. It's just what it is. Harry Kane.
Even with Mourinho there.
Mourinho is there because he has to be there. Where else is going to be? He can't go anywhere else.
So you're telling me he won't do anything there?
Mourinho, I think Mourinho will.
I think he will.
Mourinho, I love Mourinho. I don't think we should have ever got rid of him ever because he's done so much for the club. And if we did, when he was doing bad in certain leagues, I get that. It happens with every manager. Okay, Klopp was performing shit at the beginning of his reign as well.
Best manager.
But so many hugs. But with Mourinho, I'll never if I ever went to Stamford Bridge and I saw him, I'd never boo him. I'll clap him. Dude, the guy won us 3 premierships.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking oath.
But for him, he's known to win trophies, regardless of where he went. He won the Premier League with Chelsea. I'm just going to name one trophy from each one. He won the treble with Inter. He won the La Liga with Real Madrid. He won the Premier League again with Chelsea. He went to Man United, won the Europa League, and got them into the Champions League. Tottenham's in the Europa League now. I reckon they're favourites to win it.
Yeah.
Favourites to win the Europa League. And I can see Mourinho going, you know what? Fuck the league. That's what he does best. Yeah. He goes, fuck the league. Why put so much effort in the league when all we have to do is win 10 games and go into the Champions League from the Europa League? Yeah. That's our aim. Do you know what I mean? And that's smart. But Man U, I think they're a couple of £1 million from being a massive fix.
Yeah,
they're a big fix. There's my rant about Man United.
I agree. And look, bro, give our credit to Harry Kane and Son, but Tottenham have been fucking up and down as well. Let's admit it. They lost to who was that team?
Which one?
This
season.
Yes, this season in the cup.
But look,
Antwerp.
Yeah, but with Tottenham,
Europa. Sorry, it was in Europa.
What are they on the league? They're third or fourth? I think they're third.
They're third.
Yeah, there you go.
They're 3 points behind Liverpool. They got There you go. It's a big improvement from last season.
And it's Mourinho doing his little things.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's doing those little steps because we've got to keep in mind, and a lot of people forget this, like Europa League is played a day after the Champions League. Okay, so for us it's on Friday, but for them it's Thursday night. Okay, now these guys then go 2 days to play a Premier League game.
Yeah.
So you got a 48-hour rest, and keeping in mind some of the Europa League travel is massive. You can go to Azerbaijan, that's like 6,000 kilometers or whatever, which is away from everyone. That takes a toll on you, as you guys know, going on a plane on and off, and then going to another team that's going
Not
to
to mention, didn't they play qualifiers to get into Europa?
I think they did because that was the way that they structured it this year because of the virus.
And bro, just knowing from Galatasaray trying to get into Champions League, bro, it was like every week they were going away or had a second game
they
that
had
week.
I think they had 3 games in like 6 days or something like
it's
that.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. And then on top of that, you got your Premier League games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it all adds up. And I don't have an excuse for these guys because, in my opinion, you're getting paid £200,000 a week. You're built for this. Yeah. This is what you're getting. This is what you're getting
Especially
paid
the
for.
younger guys.
That's right.
Like 23, 24
you
year
got
olds.
something to prove.
Yeah.
Unless you're Messi, who just walks around on the pitch now.
Wow, cuz how salty was that, bro?
Look, you can see. This was expected. I don't get it. I really don't understand what Barcelona expected when a guy said, I want to leave the club, and they said no. Like, what do you expect from him? You treat him like absolute shit. The guy has literally done everything possible for himself and your club, and he said, you know what, I'm done. Yeah. And then you guys almost sent him to court about it. Like, you know what I mean? Either go, pull him aside and go, you know what, are you sure you want to go? If he goes, yeah, man, break bread with the guy and go.
Yeah, bro, do it in the summer transfer or whatever. Like
they could have made money off him.
I mean, the winter transfer.
They could have made money off him. Think about that.
Yeah,
they
bro.
could have made money off
know.
him. He's not going to renew his contract unless something really massive changes.
Free agent.
So he's going to leave us free.
Bro,
think about
Juve,
that.
pick him up, please. I want to see him play with Ronaldo.
Nah, Ronaldo will leave.
I want to see them playing together. Both of them go to some MLS team. I just want to see them play together.
Messi will go to Man City. There's no other team that can afford him. No other team.
True.
Man City, eh?
Man City.
Yeah, good. Let him play in the fucking EPL. It's easy to play in a second division league fucking in Spain. Oh, yeah, he's the best player. Yeah, when he's surrounded by fucking superstars, like Iniesta and whatnot over the period. I'm not even going to go through names.
That argument is invalid for me. Why?
Why?
Because Barcelona and Real Madrid have dominated the Champions League over the last couple of years, the last decade.
Yeah, if he was at PSG, I'd say something.
And every time they versed a Premier League team, they fucked them. So I'll give them credit for that.
If he played at PSG, then yeah.
And look, again, PSG could go, you know what? I'm just gonna get rid of Mbappe or Neymar and just give money to thing.
Messi.
But he won't. I don't think he would go to PSG because Neymar wouldn't be able to hack it because Neymar's the man there. You know what I mean? Messi comes along, Neymar's no longer
Aren't they
the
best
man.
mates?
They say they are, but I reckon he left to get out of Messi's shadow.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't think Mbappe will be there in the long run. I can't see him being at PSG.
APL?
Nah, Real Madrid, easy. He'll go to Real Madrid. He's French. Zidane's French. It
Bro,
makes
and
sense.
he's following in the footsteps of
it's
Ronaldo,
true.
bro. Have you seen how he looks at him? He's like, he idolizes Ronaldo, bro.
Yeah, on his knees.
Yeah. But keep this in mind, man. The guy he's 21, 22. He's already a World Cup winner.
Yeah.
He's literally a World Cup
Bro,
winner.
and he wasn't just put in the squad. He was good in the World Cup.
Yeah, he took his team
Yeah.
to where it needed to
That's
be.
right.
That which was amazing.
He wasn't just some guy coming off the bench for 3 minutes a game at 18 years old, bro. He carried that French team. He played well in that World Cup.
That again, they're the team to probably watch out in Euros. But yeah, Man United, you got shitloads to do.
I've
I don't know how you're gonna
I've got
fix it.
a little bit of a thing. Look, I haven't I've been very open about how I have a soft spot for Leicester. Obviously, them winning the EPL, you know, as an underdog team. Bro, I've got a new love for Leicester only because of how well Cengiz Ünder is playing there. Bro, it's amazing to see Cengiz Ünder come from Roma, jump in the EPL, pretty much no adjusting period, and he's taken off
That's
there.
the defender, yeah?
No,
No,
he's a
the
midfielder.
Leicester's turning into the Turkish national team.
Bro, no, Lille is. Lille is the Turkish national team.
But look,
Yazici got a hat-trick in the Champions
I
League
know.
this
Yazici
week.
destroyed
I know.
AC
Yeah.
Milan. Look, maybe they're trying to peak again for you got Euros coming up. What is it, next year? Yeah, next year. They could be building their profile, their performances up for that, hopefully, because we do need. I think Turkey's got their defense sort of nailed down, if that makes sense. Once everyone's fit,
Attack we
it's
struggle.
attack that's a
But you know
struggle.
what? You know what the attack needs? Get rid of Burak Yilmaz, bro.
Oh my god.
Bro,
Burak Yilmaz is, you know when a dad coaches the team and he's got his shit son. That's Burak Yilmaz.
yeah, bro. Yep.
Like
Because
he's like,
Şenol Güneş and him are like father and son. Yes,
pretty much.
perfect.
It's like Fatih Terim and Emre Belözoğlu.
Yeah.
They're the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like he's married
Well-
my daughter. He's playing whether he's 41 or 51. I couldn't give a shit. But look, Leicester's doing very well. But I think their form will slowly start to dip. But then again, they have nothing to play for.
Brendan Rodgers still the manager there, bro. He's really doing a good job of keeping his players happy. Like we talked about, was it Madison last year who was really well. He was, you know, that midfielder who kept form all year. But you got Vardy who's like 40 years old and he's in the form of his life.
Yes.
And like he's really doing a good job keeping that team together.
Vardy just does what he does best.
Put him in.
Put the ball in the net.
Yeah.
Good finisher.
He's like, that's it. I'm quick and I know I'm going to get that ball and I'm just going to put it in the net.
Yeah.
Hey, look, if the team is psychologically happy, if the team has good
Yeah.
chemistry, man, another EPL title, you never know.
Yeah.
Liverpool's got defensive problems up the ass, Tony.
Yeah, bro. You got a guy like Gomez in centre back, bro. Honestly, I said this to our WhatsApp group in that Champions League game. Oh man, who ran past him? Dribbled past him. He was on him, man marking. He put his hand up, going, "He's not my man." After he got absolutely jack dribbled, bro. He is useless. Like honestly, since Van Dijk is gone, his flaws have been highlighted because man, Van Dijk was really covering for him.
Van Dijk covered for the whole Liverpool squad.
That's true, but especially for Gomez, bro. We can't have him in defense. He's horrible. And all transfer season, I cried out for a centre back, bro. I'm gonna say this openly now, and I know people are gonna hate me for it, bro. I've been crying about Firmino and how bad he is at finishing and how he doesn't score enough goals as a striker. Bro, you bring Jota in and he solved our goal scoring problem as a striker. Bro, our goals were all coming from Mane and Salah who are off on the wings. Right?
I know.
You put Jota in and the guy is unbelievable. He's done more in a couple of months than Firmino did in 2 years, bro.
Leave Firmino alone.
Firmino is, bro, look, he has his place. I don't think he's a striker. He's a better number 10. And we've always talked about this. I don't think Liverpool have space for a number 10 on there. But we've sorted the striker out now. We'll see how long Jota holds form for. But we really need to do something about the centre-back position. Bro, I was crying for an Ozan Kabak transfer or even Soyuncu through the transfer season. Bro, something needs to be done because, bro, obviously with the amount of pressure that Van Dijk handles, his fitness isn't going to be there forever.
Well worth that 75 million.
Oh, yeah, bro. Look, Van Dijk's awesome. And we're really seeing that now that he's gone.
Yeah.
You know what Liverpool's gone to, bro? It's gone to like a Man City way of playing. Let's just score more goals now because we can't defend for shit anyway.
Great tactic.
But you're top of the league.
Yeah, I know.
Look,
I'm
can't
not complaining.
complain. But how long is
I ain't
how long are we
complaining.
gonna hold it for?
I'm number one until we drop that spot. I'll start complaining.
Has Van Dijk closed the season? It's closed the season, eh?
Reportedly.
Yeah,
Reportedly closed.
Yeah,
So
he's out.
how long we can put up with Gomez and at least we've got Alisson back now
Well,
because
as long as Jota keeps scoring those goals.
Jota keeps scoring, mate. Because we need to sell Firmino to buy a fucking centre back. So
No, you can't sell Firmino.
nah,
Firmino
won't get
is your,
sold.
is your little chemistry button.
No.
He's not a striker. I don't get why you guys keep putting him
Yeah,
a
I don't think
striker.
he's a striker. I've said that from the start. He's a number 10, bro. He's a cam.
That's our little football rant. Hey, just not breaking news, but so Biden's pulled ahead in Georgia.
Game over.
Game over by ahead by 917 votes, with less than 1% still to be counted, and these are all postal votes. So
You heard it
That
here
is-
first
That
in
is
small
as
talk.
of 9:42 p.m. Australia Eastern
so
Standard
it happened
Time
1
on
hour
Friday.
ago, but yeah, Democrats set to win in Georgia for the first time in 28 years.
It's been, there's a couple of shockers in some of the states where certain parties didn't even campaign there because they've won it that many years there, and there's been some shockers coming out.
Overconfidence.
Yeah, that's right. So, look, dude, campaign with your people that have supported you for 50 years. You need them on board. So, Trump next time, mate, you got to do that.
Or
he's
just
done.
don't be a fucking dick while you're a president.
You know what's
Yeah.
interesting? Can I bring up something quickly? You know how they have the 8-year term if you get re-elected after the first 4 years, and then that's it, complete, it's finished.
So 2 terms, that's it.
That's it. Do you think that's a good idea? Like for instance, in Australia, we don't have that. We had John Howard. How long did he go for? 12 years.
Yeah. Bro, look at Turkey, bro, for 20 years been the same.
RTE represent.
So you're saying is 2 terms good enough in America?
Like, is 8 years enough, or is 8 years too little?
I think, the only time that can ever change, in my opinion, is in America if you have a president who's been that good for 2 terms straight. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that's when they might set up and go, you know what, maybe.
That's impossible because one party's never going to be happy with the
Yeah,
other
that's
doings
true.
of the other party.
Exactly.
So,
But
how
what-
do you keep two sides happy?
You get the people to vote.
You know
If
what?
the people love you, again, no, this falls down to everything, everywhere. If the people love you, no political party, nothing Hollywood agenda will ever topple you. If the people love you,
And that's where I think that's where the popularity
power,
vote is in my opinion more accurate because you're getting a straight up who's voted more than you. Then what? It's not which states have more power in the Senate.
yeah, but the state power is more along what the state prefers. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, you got 70 million votes. Yeah, say I'm giving this number's in no reflection whatsoever for America. Say there's 10 million people living in Texas,
Yep.
okay, and you get all 10 million votes. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And then it's split. You lose a lot over the board.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Your main thing is Texas. Well,
Yeah, I understand
It-
that, but
it won't
at the
work
same
properly.
time, you can win by 50 votes in Texas and you get all 16 seats.
but you
Or
want
senators, 16. But it doesn't reflect what the people want as a population. That's what I'm trying to say. It could be almost 50-50. It'll be 49.9 and 50.1, right? But you're getting the full control of that whole state.
Yeah, but that goes across the board to everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, in New South Wales, for example, we're all voting for one person, yeah, and then 4 million people vote for Scott Morrison, and then the other people vote for someone else,
But that's why we have the seats in our thing.
which is the same, which is effectively
Yeah,
the same.
No,
it's the
because
same.
the seats for New South Wales can be divided
Yeah.
for, I don't know 100%, but say the Shire area has this many seats and they've gone to Liberal. And this place has this many seats and they've gone to... Bro, you're talking about a whole state being taken by, even if it's just a little bit that they got majority by, all that whole that state's senators become that thing.
It
Fortunately, is what it
becomes... It's ridiculous. Look, what if we just go, all right, whoever won, that's it, you won, make your decision, make your little acts, make your little laws, implement whatever the hell you got to implement into government, and of course enforce it to a degree. Whereas, you just mentioned you've got Senate, we've got the higher, lower house in Australia. you've got effectively you got Labor or say hypothetically one of the parties win. Say Labor win. You've got if Liberal has majority seats in the
House of
Reps, they can block any kind of
bill going through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what's the point of Liberal going,
and
getting
rocking up to the House of Representatives once a month to discuss shit?
Exactly. What's the point of me electing my party if they can't make a full decision? Go, look, you know what? This is the law. That's it. It's reinstated. It's instated.
That falls down to your party doing their job and making sure they are securing these seats, they are securing the Senate, and they are securing the Prime Minister. It's more, okay, everyone votes for one guy, and this guy goes, you know what? I can pass literally whatever the fuck I want.
No. I'm not saying the one guy. I'm saying you've got one party in the Senate going. House of Reps going. For instance, I'm not talking about the individual leader. I'm talking about the whole party as a whole going. They're able to block a certain law trying to be passed. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas, what's the point of me electing this, or what's the point of this party being elected? So just so the other party can go and go, well, no, we don't like this. We're not going to accept it. We're not going to vote for it, or we're not going to let it pass.
But that's what I'm trying to say. The other party did their job well enough to secure enough seats to put the other party in problems. The same thing happened under Obama administration.
Yeah, I know.
People forget that. Do you know what I mean? Everyone sings about Obama and stuff like that. Now, again, I don't hold a race in any horse race or anything
Bro,
like that.
what did you do?
But Obama, they almost ran out of money. You know what I mean? I remember that time when they had to shut down all government-related jobs and stuff like that. And he couldn't pass for a bill to get more money because he didn't own, I think, the Senate or the House of Reps, one of them two.
Yeah, I remember that.
People forget that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Look, at the moment, I'm sticking with him. Biden.
We'll see what happens.
Biden's probably going to take it. If he's head in Georgia, that's game over because Trump's not going to win Nevada. We're just more interested in the aftermath. If I wake up one morning and I see America on fire, I probably wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't go
Good.
that way.
Have some of your own medicine.
Yeah, both of you have
been
two
fucking
different
up
views on it.
every other countries in the world. Fuck your own country up.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see.
The thing is, the people who are going to be burning and getting hurt is not the people who are fucking other countries up. It's just innocent
It's
people.
the individuals. That's
Well,
it, man.
one way. They're either going to learn or they ain't.
Man, you got
Or they're
such
going
a...
to continue doing
You're
the
an evil
bullshit that they're
person, you know.
No, not really. What am I? I'm not
You
wishing
got such a
anything.
middle class... Yeah, fuck them.
Bro,
Everyone, get off my porch. Still in my newspapers.
It's like
Hey,
everyone
boy.
that Ty pisses off, and then the earthquake happens in Turkey. Like, yeah, suck shit, take some of that. Yeah, bro, they're innocent people getting hurt.
Of course
it's not
they're
the people
innocent, but
in
this
power.
is the
We're
country-
talking about a natural disaster versus
I
civil
know.
war.
Okay, well,
That's so different in
bro,
comparison.
the same thing. There's cases where
know
we
what
hurt
you mean,
ourselves as well.
I know
You know what I
you mean.
mean? Like,
Let's not go into this
Oh, yeah,
political.
yeah. I was about to
loophole.
say
I'm just
the same
saying.
thing.
'Cause all I'm saying is, the politicians are not the representatives of the innocent people who will be hurt during the whatever aftermath that happens because of all this anarchy.
No, I'm just saying, look, of course I don't wish anything bad on innocent individual or people, but the point I'm trying to make is America as a whole. And I'm sure those people support America's government and the decisions they've made. I mean, I'm sure we've seen the videos where, people go out in the street and they ask questions and like, oh, do you think Iraq, deserve it? Yeah, Iraq deserve it. We're giving them freedom, so-called freedom. But now, you know what? Have a taste of your own medicine. You know what comes around goes around. Let them cop it.
People need
Justice.
to be... If people aren't willing to be educated, they will be giving answers like that. That's my opinion.
And you got to remember that the media is representing who they want to be represented. Maybe there are people out there who are saying, no, we're doing the wrong thing. I'm sure there's Americans out there who are saying that.
True.
But it's, what is the TV screen showing you?
That's right. And I've seen videos where people in America didn't even know where Iraq was.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's my
So-
point.
We will wait and see how this US election turns out. Boys, it's been a pleasure.
It's been awesome, man.
We'll discuss probably pretty much the outlines of what happened in the US election next week.
Maybe not as in depth, but we'll talk about, what if there's been any aftermath or whatever.
We'll catch up on if there's any fires or robberies and shit like that. If Trump decides to just sit in the in the White House.
Look, on a more positive note, I want to come back next week and talk about how this team actually won and we don't lose the series in the second game.
Yeah, Fitler, get your shit together.
You got to pack better cards, man.
You need that. Look, mate, you need those new FIFA coins. Go get
So
them.
if Hitler loses, he's lost a thing.
What?
if he loses effectively, we've lost the whole.
Because I reckon
year.
if you lose
I don't
the
think it's
series,
Fittler's New South Wales.
The series. No, I'm just saying what happens then.
yeah, we'll lose. But if Fittler loses the series with this team, he should be deported.
That's what
Bro,
I'm saying.
Put him on Christmas Island.
Does he
or something.
continue to be the coach for New
Because
South Wales
he's not an
next year?
Australian citizen anymore.
Nah, give him one more year. Be like Fergo. 4 more years. Nah, look, boys, it's been a pleasure. Catch you boys next week.
Laters.
Peace.